Good evening, good evening, good evening. Excuse me. Good evening. It's time for the Daryl Show. How is everybody doing this afternoon, this evening, this fine day before MLK Day? In Georgia, I think you're getting a little snow. I know in Columbus they were. Not sure about Atlanta, but we're going to talk to a young man who was born and raised in in Atlanta, excuse me, and he's going to tell us a lot about what's happening. I know it's not about snow because he's not in Atlanta right now, but it's all good though. But as I told everybody, first of all, like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate that. That really helps us out. That helps us with the algorithm. It helps us grow. We're on the road to 100 subscribers on YouTube. You know, then on to 500, then on to 750, then on to 1,000. I really and truly believe in God this year for a great year for the Daryl Show and everything and everyone that's connected to it. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone's support. And tonight, I have two special guests, one in studio and one at home. But the one in studio is one that everybody's been looking for. Come on over here real quick, young man, and tell everybody, hey, hey, come just real fast. Tell everybody, hey. All you gotta do is show your face real quick, okay? We live. Don't come over here. Don't come over here with them silly faces, okay? Lean on in so they can see you. Tell everybody, we got Scooter. We got Scooter in the building, everybody. Okay. All right. All right. So without further ado, let me see how to get my friend over here. Oh, okay. Now I don't know what's going on with this thing today. Oh man. I don't know what's going on with this thing today. If y'all hear that little boy in the background, please forgive him. Hold on. Let's see. Let's add my boy to the right. Nope, this ain't it either. This is not the time to be tripping. Let me see. Let me delete me. Hold on, brother. I see you. I see you. Uh, we're having a little technical difficulty today. Let me see him. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. What is going on? Hey, brother, do me a favor. Go out and come right back in. Ring that link again, okay?
Alrighty.
Yeah, and then I'll bring you in because I don't know what's happening right now. Y'all give us a minute. Don't know why we're having technical difficulty today of all days. We coming. We coming. Tried to work these bugs out earlier, but don't know what's happening right now. But he's here. Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We got two guests today. Hold on, man. Hold on. We having an issue. We got a lot going on today. This is gonna be a powerful show. Hold on. I can barely hear you, sir. It's not you, it's me. Oh man. Oh man. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Hey. Hold on. Oh yeah, he at the bottom. What is going on? Wow, what is happening? Oh, come on. Bring it back over here. Let's try this one more time. What is happening today? Oh my goodness. I rebuke you right now in the name of Jesus. Now you come on here now. Y'all pray for me because I don't know what's happening. This is a powerful show today. No, 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 no. There we go. All right. No, that ain't it. Okay. Y'all give me a minute. There's two people in here that I really want y'all to talk to today. What is happening? Whew. This is stressful. I see you, Adrian. Don't hang up. I see you, my boy. I see you. Don't worry. I see you. There we go. Well, that's you. I can't hear your volume. I got to get my boy on here. Where he at?
I was muted.
Oh yeah, you were muted, but I'm talking about my boy Major Turner. Man, it's good to meet you, man. Hold on. I don't know where he at. Hold on. Um, sorry about that. Oh, come on now. There you go. There you go. No, no, no. That's not him. Hold on. Oh, hold on. You can pop back in, sir. Oh, hold on right there, Adrian. I got you, man. We having a rough start today. I don't know why. I guess it's software issues, but no,
When
we finna get back in.
powerful things always have some opposition.
Right. Hold on. I know, but I'm trying to get you, and I can't get to you because Adrian is here. I'm trying to get to both of y'all at the same time. And you still in there waiting, huh? Okay, hold on. All right, I'll get to you. All right. Anyway, how you doing, brother Adrian?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, man.
I
I really appreciate you taking your time out on your busy schedule to come and talk to us here at the Daryl Show. I don't know why we cannot get you in here with my good friend, and this is embarrassing and it's frustrating, but we're getting in here.
well,
But I'll while you're speaking, while I'm trying to work on this, I want you to I'm gonna solo you out, and you just
Mhm.
tell everybody who you are and what you're doing. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead. There you go.
Hello, everyone. I am Adrian Constaneri Jr. I am a candidate for Georgia Secretary of State, and I'm a born and raised native of Marietta, Georgia, product of the Cobb County School District as a graduate of Hillgrove High School, and my higher education coming from Grambling State University's College of Business, learning everything about business management. And I am here today letting you all know about my candidacy for this position, but also to hear concerns about how the Secretary of State office can better serve you. So I am definitely excited to be here. I have to give credit where credit is due. The man that we are, the actual man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, Major Turner, is the reason that I am here today. I have to give so much gratitude towards him. Especially to you, Daryl. Thank you for opening up your show, your platform, just the ability for me to be here to speak on this. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Brother, let me tell you something. When Major Turner first started telling me about you, I told him, I said, now this is a man that I need to be on my show. And he will tell you, I was like, he said, he told me, he said he might be able to pop in today. He said, I know he's busy. He said, because I think you may have had some campaign stuff over the weekend. He said, you might be able to pop in today. And I was like, we're going to do what we can to get you on here. But I do want to say, brother, I am proud of you. How old are you? 26?
Yes, sir.
26 years old. I got children older than you. I got one older than you. So, but for you to be taking a bold stand, especially in Georgia, well, we know Georgia is red, but it can be purple if it needs to be, if everybody actually gets together and do what we need to do and make some things change. But you are taking a huge risk. It's calculated, I'm sure, but you're taking a huge risk. You are doing some great things with just your campaign. I've been following you, your campaign, and all of those things. And I understand that, of course, you need donations. I understand people need your support. I always want to put your voice out there. Put your images out there because a lot of times we don't get to see, who it is that we should be voting for. Some people just go by name and don't know who the name is. Especially with a name like Constanary, it doesn't sound like one of our names, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So with that, brother, I just want to say, man, God bless you, and I appreciate you coming on. But as I still work on trying to get Major Turner in, we're still gonna talk. Um, tell me about why you want to be in this position right here.
Absolutely. Well, in order for me to effectively tell you why, I have to first give you when. You
Okay.
see, back in 2020, while I was a student at Grambling State University, and you can see the flag in the back, my vote was challenged.
Mm-hmm.
As I was sending in my absentee ballot, as you know, I was a native, well, I still am a native of Marietta, Georgia. I wanted to have my voice heard. That was the first presidential election I ever got the chance to vote in. I
Right.
finally got to pick who I wanted to represent me in the White House. But also that was the same year that we had the Senate election for Raphael Warnock and for John Ossoff, and I was excited to put my name behind theirs. And unfortunately, instead of me having my vote casted, they challenged me, saying that I had 3 days to come back to the state to prove I was who I said I was, or else they
Mm-hmm.
were throwing out my vote. This happened for the primary and the general election of the same year. And this took place, making me realize that in 1965, I was given the Voting Rights Act, but not as a one all in all. No, that was the foundation to fight for my right to vote continuously.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working in voter advocacy, voter registration, voter education, and protection all across the country, working with various nonpartisan organizations. And that actually led me to realizing what happened behind the scenes with my own vote. And that is actually something that is the bridge between Major Turner and I,
Right.
because it is because of him that I learned about what happened
Right. Yeah.
from the documentary that he was on.
Yes. 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 That was one of the most pivotal pieces of work that I had ever seen. I was there you go, Vigilantes Inc. That's right. I watched it on
Yeah.
YouTube, and I try to share the link with people when I can. But I really want people to understand to not let that documentary die. My man Greg Palast, he did a lot of great work. He did a lot of great work. He spoke a lot of truth to power. He confronted a lot of people that like really, really were taking the votes away from blacks and minorities in the state of Georgia and a few other states. But I'm a Georgia fan, Georgia resident. I mean, not Georgia resident, but I live in the Queen City now. But I'm from Columbus, Georgia, born and raised. I stayed there for the vast majority of my life. Went to Muskogee County school district, and all of those good things. I got my GED from Georgia Technical College, so technical college system. But it's vitally important that the things that the man that we're talking about tonight worked so very hard for, and we have people that look like you and I. They didn't just die. They were literally murdered for our right to stand in a booth and cast your ballot, whether it be through a chat, through now it's computer systems and all of those things. And I remember in 2020, was it 2020? Yes, 2020, no, 2016, or whichever one. Anyway, our current governor, you know his name, I'm not
Mm,
gonna mention him, was still Secretary of State. And
yeah.
you know, let's talk about the character of that season right there. I know you remember. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Okay, let's
Let's
talk.
talk. I've been waiting.
Okay, okay. So that season right there, to me, now on the outside looking in, of course, I was participating in every way possible, but that season really made a difference in my life when it came to Georgia politics. Okay, so what do you think? What do you remember about that season? Break it down however you want to.
Well, unfortunately, I was too young to vote when Voldemort went to go and get back in. When he went back in. But to well, not even when went back in, when he went for this first go round coming from the Secretary of State position, and to have someone as qualified as dedicated to service as Stacey Abrams be denied a seat in a very unprofessional, unconstitutional fashion was heartbreaking.
Right,
To see the amount of devotion to the people be ignored,
right.
all because of a selfish ambition of a plight to overtake and usurp power for your own self and your own gain was very damaging to a lot of movements here within the state. The beautiful thing is, luckily, Black women are very resilient. Black
Right.
women are very, very resilient. And unfortunately, time has made that the case. But I'm very grateful for the product of what has come from having resilient Black women in our lives who do not give up when the going gets tough.
Yes.
And to have her still fight for voting rights, for access to polls and everything of that nature. In fact, she played a role in me being able to get my vote to pass during the general election of 2020
Okay.
because I had resources from Fair Fight that was made available to me that I was able to use to fight for my ballot where I was at without having to come back to Georgia. So I give credit to her and to Miss Helen Butler with the Georgia's Coalition for the People's Agenda. So for both of them working in tandem in that respect really gave a huge light. But of course, going back to he who shall not be named, for him to maintain power for as
Right.
long as he had
Right.
and to pat his pockets, to pat his friends' pockets, the corporation's pockets, as he's been, growing in this and to be a yes man for Trump. And then, of course, to take a stand when it seems convenient, that is very damaging to the integrity of Georgia. That is
Right.
very damaging to the soil that we know exists here, that we can grow and we can nurture something. So for this to be his last term as governor, I'm grateful because now I get to see what Georgia can really be. I'm grateful to see, hey, we have a chance to really put somebody into that office who is going to do right by the people of Georgia and not right by their friends in the White House.
Amen. So let me ask you, why the Secretary of State seat? Why would you want to start with that seat?
Absolutely. Over the years, because of what has happened to me, with everything, in order for me taking a victim mentality, I've been able to, kind of go and push forth purpose, push forth action, and fighting for people's right to vote,
Mhm.
and realizing that the Secretary of State position is the position over elections, making sure that they're fair, secure, but also accessible, which is something that does not get talked about when it comes to the Secretary of State. Everybody just wants fair and transparent, but they don't talk about the access. And this has been something that has unfortunately hurt a lot of Georgians in the time going. So this position particularly is the last line of defense for democracy in Georgia.
Right.
It is the last line of defense to protect your vote. It's the last line of defense to hear your voice. It is the last thing because we know certain somebody had a very great idea of calling the current Secretary of State and asking if they
Mhm.
had 11,000 some odd votes that they could find for them. So luckily the person said no on a recorded line.
Right.
But if it's that easy, if it's that easy to undermine a population if it's that easy to undermine the voice of the people, you can't allow for anybody to be in this position that does not have the people in mind.
Right.
A lot of people focus on the governor, they focus on the senators, they focus on the US reps and legislators, which are all very important positions in their own right, absolutely. However, if you have somebody in a position that is supposed to give the honest to God truth of what your voice is and what your vote was, and they are not in any way, shape, or form holding integrity,
Right.
then we will lose everything of what we know. And I'm very fearful that if I do not do something now, if I
Hmm.
do not run now, if I don't bring awareness to this situation now, or even get to a point where everybody can trust this position now,
Hmm.
we won't have anything later to do. So
Right.
drastic times call for drastic measures, and that's why I'm running for this position.
So, back when our current governor, well, the current governor of Georgia, was running, he was the Secretary of State. Which it okay. So anybody, we've always been taught. Okay, I live by this mantra right here. Government is fine. Government is good. It's politics that's the part that we don't want to have to deal with. Okay, but he
Mhm.
was playing a huge political game with, well, although I'm running for this position, although I'm in a position that's watching over this position I'm running for now, you could trust me to be the person that I am, but then come to find out we really couldn't trust him to be the person that he could be. Um, how do you restore integrity to that position to make people think that what you're doing is important and that position is important as Secretary of State?
Well, I think that it genuinely starts by making sure that people don't see you as a politician, they see you as a public servant.
Hmm.
I think that, and a lot of politicians will use that term. They'll use that way, but you can sense a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Hmm.
You know when people have an ulterior motive, and I'll be the first one to say that my only ulterior motive is to buy a house. Finally, to be a homeowner. That's all. I want to just live the American dream and have a house. If I have any ulterior motive, but the unfortunate thing is that a lot of people will go for a position like this as a stepping stool.
Hmm.
A lot of people will go for this because it's a power play. You're immediately connected to businesses. You're immediately connected to a lot of professions, especially with the state licensure. You're immediately connected to the Georgia securities market, which is with all of the businesses that come through Atlanta, let alone Georgia itself. They all that securities market is vast, and so you're automatically connected to a lot of people that might be able to support you in a run for a higher office. And this is a very unfortunate thing when everybody has to trust this position to be consistent with what they do. So I'll be honest with you, the Secretary of State position has no term limits. Therefore, I could run and win and hold this position for 3 terms, and I will only come out as 38.
Because it's what, 4 years?
4-year
Yes,
terms.
4 years. Yeah, because governor's what,
Yeah.
6?
Governor is 4 as well,
But
but it's term
they'll
limited to two
yeah, 2
terms.
terms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, so
So I
yeah,
could.
so it's 2018 that he was. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, it was a dark time in human history.
That's right. 2018. Yeah, because I remember. Okay, I remember correctly now. It was in between. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
with
It,
everything, how's the campaign going for you right now?
It's going well. It's going well. I've been able to go across the state. I've been able to talk with a lot of folks, hearing their concerns, hearing their plights, and also hearing of different ways that they would want for this office to serve them better. Um, and on top of that, genuinely just letting them know, like, hey, politics is not supposed to be scary.
Right.
This is not supposed to be something where every day you're waking up clutching your pearls. No, this is to be something that it happens in the background while you're doing your everyday life, and it supports you in what you do. It's supposed to give access to a better lifestyle while people in other rooms that you may never see have you in mind.
Hmm.
So that sidewalk that you're walking on, the traffic that you're sitting in, the buildings that are around your way, all of these different things are politics. quite literally the amount of time that you wait at a traffic light is politics.
Right.
Mayors can have jurisdiction over that. The sidewalk that you walk on, that's politics. The pothole that you have, that's politics. Your electric bill, that's politics.
Right.
All of these things happen in the background, and unfortunately, the background is trying to get to the foreground too fast, too quick, and not with the people in mind that are already there.
Right.
So, being able to go around the state and let people know, like, hey, I only want to serve you. I'm not here to get my name in lights. This position is not a position that it gets glitz and glamour. In fact, it only gets talked about if things go wrong.
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm not going for something that's going to put my name in lights. I'm going for something that's going to hold me accountable. I'm going for something that if things go wrong, you need them to go right. So you will call me out. And a lot of times people don't see that. People see it as a very powerful position, but they don't see the service that can come from it. So that's my biggest thing. But going around and letting people know about it, educating about it, as well as educating what other positions do,
Mhm.
should always come from the Secretary of State office anyway. But that's a point that I may rant about later.
Georgia has 159 counties, man. You can go to all 159.
Absolutely.
Oh boy,
Absolutely.
boy, y'all on the road, man. That's 150. That's a lot of counties, man.
Man.
Well, yeah, you can hit
Ugh.
counties. You can hit counties. Multiple counties a day. I mean, because you got Gwinnett, Fulton. You got DeKalb County. All these places in one. They we have a lot of counties, but they close knit together like this here. So it's not that Cobb County. We believe you got Cobb County on lock anyway. We believe you got
Look,
Cobb County on lock anyway.
I'll say this just so that way I remain humble. In the Bible, it does talk about prophets not being accepted in their hometown. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold myself to, oh, I've got that. Like, no, I need to treat Cobb County the same way I'll treat Valdosta or Lowndes County, since we're listing counties. I
Right.
gotta treat Cobb County the same way I'll treat Dade County. I gotta treat Cobb County the same way I'll treat Fayette. Like, I have to
Right.
treat Cobb County like every county, because these are still voters, these are still people, and they are Georgians that need to be, dealt with in the same manner that all Georgians must be dealt with care, with honesty, and with integrity. So I have to hit Cobb County the same amount of way. Even though I'm from here, I know where every Waffle House is, but I need to make sure that I treat them the same way.
Okay. You are oh, what was I about to say? I just got a text and it threw me off. You oh, come on, man. Oh, when you get elected, what's your first duty as Secretary of State of Georgia?
Woo.
What's the first thing
I
you're gonna
love
do?
this. You finally asked it. I've been waiting for people to ask this. You finally asked it. My first 100 days is getting rid of the voting purge process. Like that
Okay.
that voter registration purge, we're ending that. That is
Right.
so stupid to me, because it directly disenfranchises people. We have this whole mentality of use it or lose it, and people are always like, especially in the current political climate that we're in right
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
people will definitely want to partake in elections, so that way they don't have to deal with this constant backlash every day of a decision that got made 2 years ago now.
Right.
So within my first 100 days, I am going to make sure that they always have access, that they are able to go and get their voice heard. And there's even legislation right now that can help to make this possible. Speaking on same day registration when it comes to getting people registered to vote. That way, there is no deadline. So the only way that people get removed from the registration roll is if, oh, well, you have moved, or you're no longer here with us in this realm of the living.
Right.
It's a different way that we can really go about this without disenfranchising people. I had a whole situation happen with a good friend of mine who actually was purged, and he didn't know about it until I told him, hey, check your status. And this was the day before the deadline to register.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed me his my voter page, and he's like, look, I voted in the last election. I voted in 2024. Why is it that I'm not registered for 2025? What happened? Why does it say inactive? And I'm like, you were a part of the purge. They and ooh, man, there's a legislative bill that passed that everybody hates, and it's SB 202.
Mm-hmm.
SB 202 is the same bill that made it as a felony for people to go and get and pass water and voting lines.
Yep.
In that same bill, there was a caveat that said you could only have mail-in drop boxes in areas where there's 100,000 registered voters, at least 100,000 registered voters.
Some counties don't have that. Most
Exactly.
counties don't have that.
Especially,
Yeah.
but on top of that, what is the number of how many people get purged from the registration roll every odd
Right.
year?
Right.
It's in
Right.
hundreds of thousands. So
Right.
this is a systemic way for them to go around and remove these mail-in drop boxes and
Right.
put them into buildings that close after 5.
Yep.
This is not okay. This completely disenfranchises communities that can't get to the voting precinct. So we
Right.
need to get this done. So my first 100 days is going to be about removing that, because that is, it needs to quit. It needs to stop.
Wow, man, let me tell you something. So how can people follow you? And then I got another question. How can people follow you and donate to your campaign, different things like that to make sure that this word gets out. And I know the primaries are coming up, so you're getting primary, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I know the primaries are coming up. Matter of fact, I have the chairwoman of the Muskogee County Democratic Party coming on next week, and we're going to be talking about primaries and things like that, Miss Royal Anderson. So I know you're getting primary, and I know that you have the election. Once you get past the primaries, because you need what 50%. Once you
Yep.
get those 50%, because Georgia has open primary, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that means that people there's three kinds of different primaries: closed, what's the other one? Open, and it's one more. I can't think of the name right now. But anyway, my mind slips me. But with this primary, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. You can vote in this primary. Okay, check your registration now because clearly, according to Vigilantes Inc., if you look a particular way, and if you didn't vote in the last election, you might not be able to vote this time simply based off of, they want to know, or is your left shoe tied is tied just like your right shoe. I mean, that's basically it could be anything. Am I right? It could be anything.
Yeah.
So you being primary, how can people get in contact with Adrian? How can they voice their concerns? How can they say, well, hey brother, I don't have much. Here go $10, here go $15, whatever the case may be, to make sure y'all got gas in the bus to get out to all 159 of those counties.
Well, first off, I appreciate that. But you can follow me. You can go to my website, aj4ga.org. That's AJ, the number 4, ga.org. And you can definitely go. You can volunteer. You can go to my volunteer tab, or you can go to the great tab that says donate. Now,
Okay.
I have to explain this to everybody. The reason why we need this fundraising dollars, it does not pay me. You are not paying me. Please understand that. What you are doing is helping me get yard signs. You're helping me get literature. You're helping me pay a team so that way I
Right.
can actually get some really great messaging out. You're helping me get to every single county. But on top of all of this, what you are showing to the world, because my disclosures will be public, everyone will see, you are showing that you are investing in defending Georgia's democracy. You are investing in defending Georgia's democracy. That is the biggest thing that you are doing. You are not just giving your money and then that's it. No, this is an investment. You are going to be with me on the road. I am taking that dollar and it is going to go to the best use possible. Look, I know how to make something out of nothing, but give me something, watch what I can do. So, if you donate to my campaign, how much you could give. We are doing a campaign drive of 26 for 26. That's $26 for the 2026 campaign. And yes, I am 26 years old, so angel numbers,
That's
but
okay. Right there.
but but you could definitely give that, and that will help us so much. And yeah, we're doing this primary. The primary vote is May 19th. Make sure you guys are registered to vote. Early voting does start April 27th, so make sure you are registered to vote way before then. And early voting will go towards April 27th all the way through, I want to say, till the 15th of
Okay.
May.
Hmm.
So we're gonna push through that entire time. If you want to volunteer and be on the road with us, definitely, and reach out. You can follow on Instagram, AJ4GA underscore, or you can also go to our Facebook, Adrian Constanary Jr. for Georgia Secretary of State. If you type in Adrian Con, it'll pop up.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay. I got one last question, brother. For
yes,
us,
sir.
for those of us who are Georgia purists, right? And we're proud that you're an educated young black man, right? A lot of us are going to ask. Now, we appreciate this guy. He's handsome. He's articulate. He's getting straight to the point. But we want to know, why not choose a Georgia HBCU? Why not choose the Morehouses of the world, the Clarks, the Fort Valley, Albany State? What you got to say about that, man? Because you went all the way to Louisiana, I-20 exit 81 to get what you need done, when you could have got it in Georgia for much cheaper. So what you got to say about that, man?
Well, I will say this first and foremost. This is no hate towards any of the HBCUs, that the beautiful, illustrious, amazing HBCUs that we have here in the state of Georgia. I love Morehouse. I love Fort Valley. I love Clark. Let me go through the list. I love Morris Brown.
Okay,
I love Albany State. I love Savannah State. I love all the different HBCUs, and I love all the institutions that we have. And I know I missed a few more HBCUs that we have here, but
it's
I
okay,
did want to
brother.
at least list them out.
I put you on the
But
spot. It's okay.
well, no, that's okay because I
Yeah.
got to get used to the spot anyway.
Okay.
But my father played for Coach Eddie Robinson
Oh.
back in the day.
Okay.
Now, for those that do not know who Coach Eddie Robinson is, Coach Eddie Robinson was the winningest coach in college football history with
Right.
over 400 plus wins, and he sent over 200 men to the NFL, one of which being Doug Williams, who was the
Yep.
first black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, as well as Tank Younger, who I believe was the first black man in the NFL.
Hmm.
I could be wrong on that one. Let me double check my research with that. But of all of the history that came with Grambling, I had no choice but to go to Grambling. Now,
Right.
it's not saying that my father forced it onto me or anything like that, but I do have to share my Grambling story. You asked the question, now
Right.
it's
I
got to
got you,
come
brother.
out. Um, when I was looking for schools, as you know, we did mention earlier, my last name is a little bit difficult to pronounce for
Right.
some people. It's very unique. Constanary, it's an Italian last name. Um, my last name has been butchered every which way. And
Right.
whenever I was looking for schools, I would go on a tour, it would be pronounced wrong. It would be, consonery, connoisseury, connoisseur, consonant. You name it, I've
Right.
heard it. But when I went to Grambling and I did my tour just like any other school, the actual tour guide that day, he looked at me and he said, before he even said anything else about the school, he said, I want to know, how do I say your name? Because I want to know who it is that I'm talking to.
Right.
And I said, oh, it's Constanary. He said, Constanary, Constanary,
Right.
Constanary. Okay, Mr. Constanary, let's learn about Grambling. And so we walked around and he said my name the entire time. As the tour is going on, him and I became friends. So he started going from Mr. Constanary to AJ. And AJ is what everybody does call me. But as we're finishing it up, he finally tells me the slogan of the school. Grambling State University is the place where everybody is somebody. And for me, I knew that I wasn't just going to be a number.
Right.
For me, I knew I wasn't going to be just a part of a percentage or anything like that. I knew that being here at Grambling, I was going to be somebody, and that somebody was important. And it wasn't making me above anybody else because everybody is here. So I knew that, you know what, if he is going to take the time to know me and know who I am, well, then maybe the school will too.
Right.
I made that decision, and it was the best decision I could have made for my educational path. I promise you. I love Grambling for it. Grambling, I owe so much to Grambling State University.
Amen, my brother. Hey, I'm always gonna bust your chops if you come here. I want you to understand that you have an open invitation, man. Anytime you have a free minute, if there's something you want to get off your chest, then I can promote you, to make sure that you are successful in your campaign, man. You got the link, you got I got your telephone number. I'll text you my phone number and then we'll go from there, man. Hey, I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. I follow you. I make sure that, I always try to share your stuff, whatever I need to do to make sure that the name is out there, the word is out there. We're all going to go to AJ4GA underscore on Instagram. Instagram might be, for my older people, it's on Facebook. Go to Facebook and do what you need to do to follow this young man. But with the Dr. King holiday celebrations coming up tomorrow, I just want to say, man, this is what he dreamed about. This is what he dreamed about. He was prophetic in that speech. Who knew that he would be taken away from us at the age of 39? He's been, he was, on the road. He was getting hit in the face, spit, kicked, spat, kicked on, all of these things for people like you and I to do what we need to do. I'm 47. You're 26. I got a son that's 29. we and I got one over there's 9. I don't know if you can hear him or not, but he's cutting up on that PlayStation over there. But anyway, man, I am super proud of you when you win. I know you're gonna be a great Secretary of State. And no matter what happens, always remember this. I've seen people who ran for positions and didn't win, and you didn't hear from again. This is the number one thing I want you to always remember. You're running now. People are understanding who you are. So now you have a voice. Always use that to advocate for the man that's lower than you. Always. Because people get to know you. Sometimes things may not work out the first time. But if you come back, you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Our last president, Uncle Joe, he didn't win the first time he ran. But when he finally got his chance, he came in, he made some life altering moves for everybody to make the country a much better place, only for others to take us back in the direction that we don't even want to talk about right now. But man, I just want to say, man, I hate all the technical difficulties happened. Again, everybody, primaries are May 19th. Early voting is around April 27th or somewhere in April. I want you guys to go out and support this young man. He's 26 years old. He's a trailblazer. He's someone that we could look up to. He's someone that our children can look up to. He's going to be a face that you're going to see more of in the state of Georgia. I really believe that with my whole heart and mind, man. When you win, give God praise and make sure you do your first 100 days. Do it because we're going to hold you accountable. Don't get it twisted. We already let you go off the Grambling. I know that was your dad's school. And we give you that. But we're gonna hold you accountable, man. We really appreciate you, brother. God bless you, man. And we'll see you out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before I go, I want to say one last correction to what I said earlier. When it comes to our primaries, you do have to choose Democrat or Republican or independent when you get your ballot for a primary. So I do want to at least, let that be known. I did misspeak in that. But this is also something that you can expect from my office. If I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong, and I will
Okay.
make sure to give the right and give the correction. So yes, you have to be declared Democrat in order to get a Democratic ticket. You have to be declared Republican in order to get a Republican ticket for the individual primaries. So definitely make sure if you want me to be in there, vote Democrat, vote Adrian Constanary Jr. If you want to make sure I have an easy primary, no, I'm kidding. But
No, no, no. We want that. We want you to do better, man. We want you to do better. Okay.
yeah,
We want you to be better. We want you to be the best thing that Georgia has ever had in that position. Because if I'm not mistaken, we've never had anybody that looks like you in the office.
no, we have not.
And the demographics of Georgia say that we can have that. We got about
Oh
10
yeah.
million people that live there. And I want to say, well, I know Columbus is 47% black, but I don't know Georgia itself. But that
Mhm.
shouldn't matter. Character should matter over anything. Everything that, Dr. King talked about in his I Have a Dream speech, we want you to be judged by the content of your character. So we really appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Everybody, this brother, Adrian Constaneri. God bless you, man. Now I don't know how to get you out of here so I can bring major major tournament. Just
I'm a I'm gonna hit the hang up and just when he comes on, can I edify him real quick? Can I
go right
edify him
ahead.
real
Go right
quick?
ahead.
Guys, this is somebody that has given his life to service to this country, his life of service in order to make sure that the next day is better than the last, and making sure that when you look forward into the future and you look at yourself 5 years from now, you're able to look at and be proud of every single decision that you've made.
Yep.
Live every day like this. Major Turner is him. He is the truth. Absolutely love him. I look forward to hearing what he has to say. Thank you again for having me on this show. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem, brother. All right, now, y'all. That was a great interview. Now it was impromptu. Those questions came off the dome because I didn't know he was gonna be here. I knew there was a chance he could be here, but we're gonna wait for our brother Major Turner to come back. I know he was watching because I see him in the comments. But we're gonna bring him back. We're gonna finish. We're still gonna do our show because that young man, my special guest over there, he's not paying no attention to me, so it's all good. We're gonna bring Major Turner in just as soon as he get a chance to get back on. When he starts ringing this line over here, we're gonna bring him back in. So go ahead, Major Turner. You guys, AJ for Georgia. I am truly happy and I'm truly thankful that young man had the opportunity to get on tonight because Major Turner and I had been working behind the scenes to make sure that we were able to work it out for him. And I'm so glad that he's had the opportunity to do it. And you guys, please like, share, subscribe. This is what makes the Daryl Show, because yes, we talk about God, we praise God, we love God, but at the same time, we take care of His people. I don't want God's people to perish due to having a lack of knowledge if I can help it. Everybody, if you don't know me, know that I am a teacher in God's fivefold ministry. However, I also have to teach in the natural as well. And if we're not aware of things, if we're not made aware of things, a lot of times we can be ignorant to certain things and not knowing that we have people that are out there that are literally and truly fighting for our rights as people. So we're still waiting on Major Turner to come back. So we're still gonna talk about that. Hey, I was just busting that young man's chops about going to Grambling. He is a great young man. If you guys can follow him, support him. If you got 5, 10, whatever. Like he said, movements take money. There's no way around it. It doesn't matter. And we live in a socialist society. No matter what anybody try to tell you, everything that we have is socialized. That goes from the highways that we drive on. It goes from the landscaping service at your favorite park. All of these things take place from a socialist perspective. What that means is we all have one thing in common. We put into the pot and it benefits us. So don't let people who are trying to just shuck and jive you out of your vote because they want you to lose your voice tell you that what you're doing is not worth what you're doing. You're participating in something that's gonna be beneficial not just for yourself but for future generations. I told my 20-year-old, I told her, I was honest. I said, this is your world now. This is your world, and these are your government employees in politics and things like that. Here we go. I do not know why this thing is not showing him up today because I'm looking right at it. I'm looking right at it, and I don't see why he's not here. I do not see. I see you, brother. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. There we go. There he is. I see you, brother. Or was it this one? There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
I can see you and I can hear you.
I don't know why this thing acting up today. We're just gonna put you right here in this box. How about that? We're
That's
gonna put
fine.
you right there.
That's wonderful.
That's fine. We're gonna put you right there. Everybody, this is my friend and brother, Major Gamaliel Turner, Senior. Because every man needs a son. Every man needs a son. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing wonderful. And first of all, thank you for allowing me once again to be in your presence.
Hey man,
Uh,
it's always an honor. Always.
no, and I appreciate it. And that was a wonderful interview with Mr. Adrian Concierge.
Yes,
You
sir.
both of you have made me very proud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I ain't gonna hold you long because that interview, again, these technical issues, I don't know what's happening today, but we were able to get it on. We're gonna go with this right here. This is the best we can do right here. Um,
That's wonderful. You all did a great job. You did it all, and as you had indicated, this is what Martin Luther King had dreamed about.
yes, sir.
And that was the projection that he gave us. And we should know that we should still be dreaming.
Right,
We should
right.
still be dreaming.
So
Uh,
for
just,
the
just,
people,
just go ahead.
for the people who don't remember or who don't know you from the last show, because I got new people in here. And I'm thankful for everybody for coming on. I'm thankful for everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, things like that. For the new people who don't know you, don't know your story, my brother Adrian, he talked about it a little bit. Just give us a quick synopsis of, excuse me, of how I came to know you and how the world came to know you.
Uh, the world came to know me through through the documentary The Vigilante, which documented voting in Georgia, but it chronicled not only my case but the other cases of people of color in Georgia during the 2019 and 2020 election, where over 50,000 votes in Georgia were challenged.
Mhm,
And this was nothing new. This is something that had been going on for a while. Uh, and I happened to be challenged.
mhm.
And with that, I had to take them to court, not only for me to be able to vote, for all the others that were challenged in the state of Georgia to vote. The problem with that was during the time frame, that was a test bed for what we were experiencing right now today throughout America, especially the last election. If it worked in Muskogee County, then we could take it across the nation and we could possibly win the next election. And we see how that turned out.
There we go. Okay. And let's not forget about our good brother Greg Palast. He was the man who orchestrated all of
An
this.
excellent job.
Excellent job.
He is God sent. His
Right.
producers and everybody that supported him, regardless of one, because he told Georgia's story and he
Hmm.
told the story of voting. But the personal touch to me was he told the story of my family, which is much like the story of everyone's family
Right.
that were born and raised in Georgia.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it brings us home to this day. It
Right.
brings us home to the celebration of Martin Luther King and his legacy and his sacrifice and his commitment to his people.
Hmm. Amen. So you were born what year? I know people don't use the tell, but come on, brother. You were born what year?
I don't have no problem because I'm blessed to be here.
Uh-huh.
1953.
1953. And our good brother left here in 1968. So
Yes.
at the
Yes.
time when he was unfortunately uh sent home to glory at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, which has now become a museum, you were a teenager, running
I was
around
15,
Georgia at 15
15
in
years
high
old.
school, running around Georgia. So you were aware of what was taking place. So lay out, give me the neighborhood layout because your father, who's still here, was a very instrumental part of the civil rights movement. And, we honor him for that. We respect him for that. And, he gave us you. Okay. So let's call it like we see it, right? So lay out what it was like during that time from when you first started recognizing what was happening to
I,
everything.
I will tell you, I think SCLC was established, and that's the Southern Leadership Conference, was established around 1963, 54, excuse me, 54. I was 1 years old. So 10 years later, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, a lot of things started to happen.
Right.
Uh, But the most important piece were a group of young men. I think there's a picture that's floating around with Martin and a lot of other guys. I think they were alphas.
Hmm.
Uh, Graduated from Morehouse. They went on to seminary school and became pastors. You ask about that time. That time was very scary time.
Hmm.
A very scary time. In that Jim Crow law was at its peak. We talked about the assassination of Martin Luther King. Uh, we talk about the killing of black youth, male and female, uh, the killing of black adults, the fear of leaving your home, uh, living in environments, the template, just like Johannesburg, all black people stayed here, and you could not go north any further than this particular area, Peachtree Street, uh, back then. But the concern was we were fearful,
Hmm.
we were abused, people, but our number one base was we all believed in God.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important? When our ancestors were brought over here, they prayed to be free.
Right.
Their children prayed for equality and an education. My group prayed for equality. Now, on the books, we've attained equality on the books in the law, but we've never been treated or accepted as equal.
Right.
Martin, those fellows, those gentlemen, the initial 100 men ministers that established the SCLC did it for our people. They had a focus, but I would tell you they were scared.
Right.
They were scared for their life, but they believed and trusted in the Lord, and they knew that their purpose, their time, their voice
Right.
needed to be heard then,
Right.
much like now,
Right. Right.
much like now. Uh, you asked how it was. Let me tell you, your thing today was where do we go from here?
Right.
I was troubled. I was troubled much of my adult life on the other side of 1968 of losing Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, uh, Mary, Malcolm X, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
because systematically, the Kennedys, systematically, those people that cared for people of color were being assassinated,
Right.
or you can call them lynched, however you want to do that. Uh, and there was a question out there that was asked in 1968, I believe. Martin delivered a speech and said, "Where do we go from here?" And from 68 up until last month, essentially, I was still asking the question of where do we go from here and mad at our leadership because it did not appear that anyone had attempted to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
It appeared that we were all walking around concerned with self. And then I realized something, Dale. It was not my generation's place to answer that question.
Come on. Lay it on us.
And the reason why is because we had fulfilled our fathers' and our forefathers' dreams, at least on the books. We were able to go to school. We were able to go to some of the best institutions. We were accepted in the Dukes, the Vanderbilts, the Louisvilles, the Georgia State, uh, collective across the board, the Kansas, University of Kansas. We were accepted in those schools. We were no longer a 400 max SAT score test. We were able to buy homes. We were able to occupy political office. We were able to have economic gains. We were living what we thought was the dream.
Mm-hmm.
So we had already gone where everybody else wanted to go. But the questions were still there. Where do we go from here? And that is still a valid question today. And for your listeners, I'm here to answer it. I am here to give you that answer.
Okay, brother.
It is in the generation that you just talked to.
Yeah.
The answer is going to come from the 25 to 35-year olds that
Mm-hmm.
are out there now.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that have the responsibility to mold this world, to put ourselves in a position of equality, and to mold the life that the yet unborn, like your, and the newborns and the yet unborn, like your grandchild, my grandchildren, and those that yet to be born, what type of life they're going to have 30 years from now.
Right. Right.
For those that don't understand, let me show you something. I'm just going to use it nameless. Witness a function of a lot of successful people of color. The average age was 60 something years old. If I was to take 30 years from them, they would be 30 years old today.
Yeah.
Are you following me so far? They would
Yes,
be
sir.
30 years old.
Yes, sir.
Is at this point that they started their career. And if you look around, they have been in office, they've had the responsibility for making things better for us over and over and over again. But if we look back in our communities, we have to ask ourselves how much has really changed? Have the railroad tracks been ripped up? Have our people really progressed? When I say our people, the same place that they were living 30 years ago,
Mhm.
has it changed? And if I was to go 30 more years, we're talking about the Adrian concierge, the yet unborn,
Mhm.
that are now in that wake of saying, here I am. It is time for me to take all that you provided and take us to the next step, to take us in the world of technology, to where our voices are heard again. Not only our physical voice, but the voice that is found in the power to vote. Think about it. We talk about voting in Georgia, voting in Georgia. How so many elections over the last years have been stolen from us. How many times we've gone through these macerations of voter irregularities in Georgia that always have appeared to be pinpointed against us
Mhm.
to deny us. There, we have the numbers.
We do.
We have complained. The Lord has blessed us with an opportunity to fix that. Are we going to continue to complain and pray and not notice that the Lord says, I hear your prayer. I hear your prayer. We're still in the world of first.
We are. I just said that the other day. We are.
As we're still in the
We're
world
still in the
of
world of
first.
first. Absolutely.
And
We're
we have
still
the
in the first.
opportunity to do that.
Mhm.
I can only encourage.
Yep.
I can only encourage.
We are.
But I will tell you, I am happy to see so many young people, both local and state, and eventually national, that are in that 25 to 30 ish range
Mhm.
that want to represent their people. They want to answer the question of where do we go from here? They're trying to tell us. We just have to, as older generation, have to say thank you. We've held on past that baton and move out of their way. I know
Mhm.
that they are ready.
Mhm. Mhm. So that was the question of our whole podcast. I tried to get all three of us on together because we needed different generations to be represented. Because my parents, like I said, my dad was born in '58, my mom was born in '60, and brother Adrian, he's younger than my oldest child. So those three generations having this conversation would have been more powerful. But I do not know what happens tonight. But it's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, you had the opportunity to be in the presence of the man who's the face of. He didn't do it by himself. I want people to stop thinking that. I want people to stop believing that. But you were in the presence of the the genius of Dr. King. We watched the movie where he was portrayed, and how the latest movie that was where he was the I forget the man's name, the African guy that played Dr. King, when the white guy came up to him and punched him, right? I think they were in Selma at the time. I think the movie was Selma, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Selma. When he came up and punched him, and Dr. King, he was like, "Man, that white dude can punch." But
Mhm.
that right there, that scene, I don't know if it happened that way. It could have been embellished. I don't know, but chances are it probably did happen that way. But that scene really touched me in the sense that he really was a nonviolent man. Like, real talk. I'm gonna be honest with you. Daryl couldn't be Dr. King, simply because the whole plot would have been messed up, brother.
Yes.
The whole plot would have been messed up.
Well, Darren, here's what I will give you. The assumption is that you wouldn't and you couldn't.
Right,
Uh, it's amazing what we had to go through and what we had to take back then.
right,
We were conditioned then,
right.
and a lot of us are conditioned now.
Mhm,
We're taking a whole lot of slaps across the face and
mhm,
just saying yes.
mhm. They're more
But you
proverbial now
asked,
than they are physical.
yes, and that's where the problem is. We assume that we are there when we are not. You asked about Martin Luther King. I will tell you this. I remember playing table tennis in my driveway with Martin Luther King. He had on a pair of dark gray wool pants, a black belt, white collared shirt. Now I'm giving you this because that's what people do that was around during my time frame. They tell you about their moment
Right.
with King. I think uh, the most memorable moment that I had with King, with Martin Luther King, was in Gainesville, Georgia. It was the late, early '60s, late '50s. It was in, he had come to the church. No, it was Gainesville, Georgia. Come to the church. There was a pending march. Gainesville was not playing about people going to their restaurant, sitting down, and we were going to go from the church to the courthouse.
Mhm.
Uh, Full circle, same courthouse I had to go to in Gainesville for challenge of my vote with the last group uh, 2 years ago,
Wow.
and passed it by the
Wow.
church. But
Wow.
in the parsonage, as most ministers do, I got to stand in between Martin Luther King and my father. And if you've ever held hands during a prayer in church, when they say when two or more are gathered and we're all connected up,
Mhm.
I felt something then that I've never felt before. I felt this man's spirit. I felt his heart. I could feel his heartbeat prior to him walking out to deliver his speech to his people, not knowing if that was the last time we were going to be able to go, not knowing whether or not they were going to beat us, incarcerate us, jealous, or burn us down inside of that church. Those incidences were very real. So I've had the opportunity to see him in a joyous, happy moment. I've had the opportunity to see him when he was in his fearful moments, not for himself, but for others. I've had the opportunity to see him when he was focused and organized and trying to make sure that everything went right, that what we did was respectful,
Mhm.
and that it was sufficient enough to encourage the people who were scared and fearful, who needed somebody to stand up for them. I've seen him in that serious mode, and I've seen him and I've heard him when he's prayed. We asked the question. The question's been asked many times. What's what I would tell you, and what I ask your listeners to look up the Martin Luther King's, I think it was 1967, 68 speech, 67. Where do we go from here? And he has given us the answer there in the first minute and 30 seconds of that speech. I'm not going to give it away, but I will tell you that he essentially tells us to trust in the Lord, to trust. in the Lord, that we have to come together. I think the speech starts off with giving acknowledgement to Reverend Abernathy
Mhm.
and to the other leaders. And the most profound thing, because I like to peel the onion back. He said 10 years ago, this is the where do we go from here speech was the speech he gave when he was giving up the presidency of the SCLC. And he said 10 years ago, 100 black leaders came together. Hear me now. 10 years ago. So that's around 1957. 100 black leaders came together and formed this organization, SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, for one purpose and one purpose only. So they could organize and communicate and talk with the same agenda.
Mhm.
They can move as one. And we see what they were able to accomplish with the 100. Hear me now,
Mhm.
100
Mhm.
men. I think we've heard that before. There's a history behind it. 100 men, and they were able to move a nation in that same period of time. They were able to move people that did not have the ability to move as one. That's the power that he's trying to tell us, and that's how we get there from here.
Brother, I promise you. Dr. King was such a pivotal force in these United States that, you know, many people don't understand this. People don't, that Stevie Wonder's rendition of Happy Birthday was written to, for, and about Dr. King. If you really listen to the lyrics, you'll understand what's being said. And Stevie Wonder is one of the most beloved artists that we've ever had in our entire lives. And I'm ashamed to say that my cousin knows him personally, and she hasn't taken the time to introduce her younger cousin to him. And I know he's in Ghana, but whatever the case may be, she still could do me a solid,
Yeah.
put me on a FaceTime call or anything. But I said all that to say, with everything that Dr. King represented, everything he went through, everything that he did, we are going to have people who literally hate Dr. King for everything he stood for today. Tomorrow, getting up, quoting him and quoting the parts of him that they feel benefit them. But at the end of the day, their parents and grandparents hated everything that the man stood for. So give us a few minutes to talk about that right there. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's talk about that for a second. How people are going to use him and his platform and all that he stood for to try to put forth their own personal agenda. They knowing they don't care about him at all.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the collective are starting to show you their real care and concern for Martin, and I call him, forgive me, Dr. King, uh,
You had a personal
and that they've
relationship with him,
already started to value his 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 birthday. The government does not recognize it anymore as a full birthday. We can note that, but you know, so does Juneteenth. Uh, Many of the accomplishments that blacks have made are slowly being erased,
right?
and they can easily be erased because we don't understand and know a lot of them. Yes, it's going to be very hypocritical uh, as tomorrow comes about to hear people that are going to use his name, and abuse his name, and really not have, really don't care. Uh, we have to be smart enough to be able to see past that. We have to be able to be smart enough to see past that. The only good thing about now is that there are not that many people left to say I was there when Martin Luther King did X, Y, and Z.
Right.
They could tell you directly what his thoughts were. And that's why I said it is on you. Those born after 1970.
Mm-hmm.
See, everything prior to 1970, uh, even though we still live it, even though we still have the repercussions from it, everybody born after 1970, uh, everything prior to that was history.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most profound piece outside of slaves initially landing in America. It's the most profound piece of Black history in modern day times. Close enough to where you're only a generation away to understand the pure suffering. I had no real understanding or appreciation of my grandfather and grandmother who were born in 1890s and 1900s. They couldn't read or write, didn't understand it
Right.
when I was a teenager.
Right.
I didn't understand it. Just much like my children don't understand the drama and the trauma that we went through because the sign over the water fountain at Rich's department store said whites only. That being spit on and told that we couldn't walk on this side of the street, being told what time to go to bed, that you got to be home before the street lights come on.
Right.
It wasn't just to come on before the street lights come on. We had curfews. So life was different then.
Right.
And there are going to be a lot of hypocrites that have taken advantage of that time frame over the last 30 years when we talk about 58 years total. But I dare say we've come into political power and economic power, today's power, wherever we are, in the last 30 years, not the last 58.
Right. Right. A lot of people feel as if though we were forced upon them, and there's this spirit, this notion that's going around right now that equality represents bondage to certain people. This is the first time, especially with this administration we have, where we have seen white men get paid, so to speak, based off of what the civil rights movement did. So this is how I look at America. America has had a time with going back on her word. It's canceled treaties. It's giving things and taking them back. They've offered 40 acres and a mule, and they never paid on that debt. But white men that freed slaves were paid reparations, not the slaves themselves, not American descendants of slaves. And so I look at America as the biggest hypocrite in the world. She talks about anybody could come here, you could pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all of these different things. Yet we're seeing a time now where we have the Gestapo, we have ICE agents running around attacking innocent people. If somebody's an immigrant here, they still have rights here according to the rules that you set, which is called the Constitution. But now people are running past the Constitution as if they're running a red light simply because they don't like the way somebody looks, they don't like the way somebody sounds, they don't like the way somebody celebrates their own personal culture and things like that. We have had I've been to the Smithsonian National African American Museum in DC. I was only privy to get to one half of it because it's so big and vast. But just imagine me seeing, you know, Emmett Till's casket, his original casket that he was buried in. And I'm sitting here thinking this wasn't that long ago. Again, my parents was born in the late 50s, in 1960. My grandparents born in the 30s, and it's just like, and like you said, we're still in the time of firsts. I saw an article the other day, the first black woman to play on the U.S. Olympic team, U.S. Olympic hockey team, women's. But when you go back and you find out it's black men that created hockey in Canada and passed it out to everybody else, and we're just now in 2020 in the 1800s, and we're just now in 2026 seeing the very first black woman play professional hockey. It amazes me. But you, Dr. King's children. There's a little tidbit a lot of people don't know. Dr. King only has one grandchild. She's a girl. He only has one grandchild. That's Martin III's daughter, Bernice and Yolanda, and their other son. I forget his Dexter. They never had children. But I
Correct.
just find that go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, that's correct.
Yeah, I just find that amazing that out of everything that he's done, I even bank with his the bank that his father helped Citizens Trust. His father helped found it. And of
Yes.
all the things that he's done, you would think that his lineage would be much more vast and much more greater than it is. But he has one granddaughter. I just found it amazing. And a lot of other people don't know that Dr. Martin Luther King real name is Dr. Michael. It's really Michael King. His father became a fan of Martin Luther, the theologian, and he ended up changing their name. So now his name could have been Michael King. So
My father's name is Reverend Harold C. Turner, C standing for Cornelius, which is biblical. Did not have a middle name, and he
right.
took that
Hmm.
because of the centurion
Right.
Cornelius in the Bible
Right.
and his change in life. So uh,
A
during
lot of
that
them
time
did.
frame, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
We did not have. We had first name, last name.
Right.
Remember, it was not that long ago that we had to grow and find ourselves. Let me
Right.
give you something unique. You referenced how the one man in this administration is ruling and controlling our nation with spite and hate and the empowerment of those people that feel that they were oppressed.
Right.
How ugly it is. And you talked earlier about, I don't know if I could have taken a slap in the face like that and been a Martin Luther King. I've been asked many times, what was it like then? It's much like it is now. The only difference that you all have versus what we had was every white male had that ultimate power.
Right.
Right now, you just have one
Mhm.
doing the same thing that they were able to do back then. You just have one,
Right.
but you have to pay attention. You have one that's doing it, but he's saying it's okay for the rest of them to go back to doing it the way it was.
Right.
Right, wrong, and different. I always thought that the most scariest piece of life for a black man in America was when a white grandchild sat at the dinner table and was able to listen to grandfather talk about the abuse that he perpetrated, not on his slaves, because we talking three generations, not on his slaves, but on the Negroes and how we should be kept in our place and treated. And if he was able to share with his grandson the mere fact that he was able to kill a Negro, how powerful of a statement that was to that grandchild back then. Well, that grandchild would have been my equal.
Right.
You,
Right.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we asked, that's grandson, grandchild, there's a father and a son in between that.
Right.
That's what we are dealing with. That's the mentality that we're dealing with today. So you can see now from that grandchild, the people that are out there wearing the uniforms and the masks and the guns and not hesitating to kill somebody or pull the trigger and walk away without any care or concern, that's where it comes from. It's still here.
Mhm.
You just don't have a good reference point.
Right.
So today's activities is your reference point. Where do we go from here? Your vote. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you recognize that these killings are modern day lynchings, then maybe you can understand why we had to get together to say enough is enough.
Yep.
And also tell the Lord, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. But here we are. We need you now, Lord.
Mhm. Yeah, I often look at those ICE raids and grabbing people off the streets and shipping them off as modern day buck breakings. And it
Yeah.
saddens me because I know of all things my people understand. that. But I'm not gonna hold you much longer. We're gonna, man, we had some technical difficulties, but I'm not gonna lie. We had it was a great interview with Adrian, by the way. I really appreciate you making that.
That's what it was all about. You know I am.
I really appreciate you making that connection. We're gonna get together again before the primaries. Like I said, next
Yes,
week, Royal Anderson, the boss lady herself is gonna be here, and we're gonna talk about the primaries. We're gonna talk about her role and her position in Muskogee County as the chairwoman of the Democratic Party. I mean, I really appreciate you taking your time out. We always honor you here at the Daryl Show. We know that you love
yes.
us.
My Allison should be a featured guest, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the
Yeah,
invite.
we know that you love us, and we love you right back. And we just, man, I'm just thankful for you. I'm thankful for the connection. You know, you got my number. You text me, called me. I'll be right there on you. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We'll
Always
get a
here.
chance to do this again soon. Is there anything you want the people to know before we leave? You got anything going on?
No, my real push was that you asked earlier, what am I about? I call it a Gamaliel thing. My care, my concern, my vote.
Hmm.
I just want everybody else, if you can't do a Gamaliel thing, make voting your thing. Get out there and vote. Don't allow anybody that you know to not vote,
Right,
and encourage them to vote for themselves, for their best interests, to not be a follower of others.
right,
And surprise yourself. That is their number one fear, that we will recognize the power that we have and use it.
right.
So we need to stop giving it away, stop throwing it in the garbage can, and we need to get out there and vote.
That's your voice.
That's
That's your
it.
voice. That's the minimum you can do as a citizen of your local society. The minimum you could do is if you don't even vote for yourself, vote for your fellow man, because we do have to
Yes.
take this into consideration. Yes, we want to be led by God when it comes to our vote. We want God to honor us through our vote and things like that. But God is he's a holy God, but he's also a common sense God. He's a logical God. He's a God that says what's going to benefit his people. We all know King David was a handful. He's done things that it's unimaginable. We read about it through our Bibles. But at the end of the day, he was always a man after God's own heart. Why? Because he put God's people first. He always honored God and honored his people. And then he took care of himself. And that's what
Yes.
we have to do.
And your one vote does count.
Does. It definitely does.
Your one vote. Adrian talked about his one vote.
Mm-hmm.
My one vote made a difference.
Did.
It affected
Did.
over 50,000 people in Georgia and over 500,000 people in America. One vote does matter, and it does count. Thank you, Darren.
Man, I love you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll talk later. God bless you, man.
Goodbye.
Well, everybody, today's show, oh gosh, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, but I will say this show still turned out way better than I thought it would. I had heard that the young brother, Agent Costaneri, would probably try to make an appearance tonight, and I'm so thankful that he was able to. And then we were able to get our brother Major Turner. He's a friend of the pod, things like that. And I know I have had you guys' attention for a whole hour and 32 minutes, and I wasn't. It was only supposed to go past it. It was an hour. I got a house guest just running around. He's telling me he's hungry right now at 10 o'clock and 10:30 at night. So I got to make sure he eats. But man, I really appreciate everybody for the opportunity of you guys coming on and participating. And you guys really don't understand. You get it. You guys really don't understand how this show right here was something I needed. It was something I was looking forward to, and I was glad to have both of these young men on. You would have been able to see three generations come on at one time and really talk about the importance of our vote. No matter what anybody tells you, you can pretend, they can pretend all they want that our votes don't matter. Clearly, if they didn't matter, people wouldn't be fighting so hard to take them away from you. So, but next week we have a special guest, uh, Miss Royal Anderson. This is her right here, and she's going to come on and talk about her role as the Democratic chairwoman, the chairwoman of the Democratic Party in Columbus, Georgia, which is Muskogee County. And she's a friend of the pod, and we have been speaking. And so I'm going to try to give you guys a much better experience next week. But if you have the opportunity to come on, same time, same bat time, same bat channel. Shout out my little grandbaby, baby Batman. We're going to be right here, the Daryl Show. We're going to be talking about our future and the future of Muskogee County, Georgia. And of course, I would love to do more shows like this going forward. Hit my email and let me know if there's anything that you guys would like to talk about, or if you have something that's interesting or know someone that's interested that might be a benefit to the Daryl Show. Again, I really love it if you guys like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. This is a small channel, small platform. We talk about God here. We love God here. Jesus is Lord here. We don't, we don't judge. If you've been prodigal before, that's okay. I just come from a prodigal season myself. So we don't judge. We treat people with respect. We honor people. We love people. We give you your voice. Now, we ain't going to let you get too unruly. I'm just going to go and tell you that now. But we will honor you the very best way that we could. And we're going to make sure that you are valued. We're going to make sure that you're prominently displayed. And we're going to treat you with respect. We don't do gotcha questions around here, except when I got Adrian about going to Grambling. But, I'm Georgia biased. I'm not even gonna lie, but I really appreciate you guys, and this has been the longest show I've ever done. And I want to say I thank you guys for sticking it out with me. Thank you for going the distance, and I hope it was beneficial to you, and I hope you were able to take away some things. Please, AJ for Georgia, AJ for GA, Adrian Constaneri, like you said, an Italian name. You need to see who it is that you're voting for. Don't just step in there. They don't put pictures. They don't put pictures on the voting machine. You have to know before you go. And I'd like for you to support that young man. I'm throwing my full support behind him because we need fresh faces. We need people to come and do things that's going to benefit not just themselves, but everyone. The man was honest. He said, I want to buy a house. And the way things are going with our current administration, it seems as if though, people want us to buy huts and live on the bridges, but we're not doing that. We're fighting back with our vote. We're fighting back with our voices. If you're going to be in the streets, be careful. We have people out trying to take your lives these days, and that's not conjecture. That's real. So be careful. Honor yourself, honor your friends. Most importantly, honor God. Love you guys, and I hope to see you next week. Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Facebook, YouTube. Hopefully, I might be able to do my personal YouTube page one day. I don't know yet, but we're going to stick with what we got for right now. Love you guys. Hope all is well. Have a great week. Enjoy Dr. King Day. Happy Dr. King Day. No matter what anybody says, no matter who tries to tell you that you shouldn't celebrate, you celebrate the man who's literally laid his life down, didn't even get a chance to see 40 years old to make sure that you had the life that you live today. All right. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you next week. And you've been on the Daryl Show. Peace. Hey, little Musty. My bad. I forgot. I was too busy trying to get up out of here because, I'm off to the next thing. Check this out. I forgot to tell you, I need for you to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Every time you see this chocolate man with these headphones and this doggone black glasses, you know you're finna get some good quality content. We over here talking with some sense over here, okay? I want you to let all you people know. Tell them to meet me every Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, every streaming platform you can find. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support, and I thank you. I'll catch you next time. All right? Peace.